All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Happy April 1st to you today, and happy Friday morning. Everybody loves a Friday morning, don't you? Let's take a look at these markets, because ultimately these markets are your money. Why don't we firstly look at corn? That's a good one to start off with. We do every single time. That corn board is odd. Let's say odd, right? We still have this bear spreading going on. It seems to be that we want the corn a little later rather than sooner. We don't want it today. We want it next year. So look at May down 2 1/4 cents. That's 746.5. But look at new crop Dees, up 8.5 cents, 692.5. Now, I've been saying $7, kind of tongue-in-cheekish, but it looks as though we might make a run at it. So 8 3/4 cents higher in that Dees new crop corn, 692.5. Let's see if that kind of feeling, that same vein goes through these markets. Look, even though everything's lower here in the soybean market, we still have bear spreading going on. Look, May's off 11 1/4 cents to 16.07 even. That's in the middle of the day's trading range. But you go out to, say, new crop Nove, it's only down 3. So the fronts are still off a lot low. But even though they're all off, the fronts off way more than the backs. Nove, new crop, only off 3 cents to 14.18 even there. So interesting. Two corn and soybean markets are in that kind of bear spreading mode. And here you go again. Now this is the opposite, right? They're all higher, even though you still have some bear spreading going on. May, they're selling the May, but it's up 4 3/4 cents. 10.10. Well, now it's 5 1/4 cents higher at 10.11 1/4. But you've got the March, go out 1 year to March, it's up 18 cents to 9.69 3/4. So bear spreading going on there. Let's see if we've got the same thing happening in the hard red wheat. We don't want the grain today, we want it next year. And again, this one says the same thing, 12 1/4 cents higher in the May, 10.42 even as last. But go out to March, it's up double that almost, 20 3/4 cents to 10.29 1/4. Spring wheat, let's take a look at that. Spring wheat also is, and this one bucks the trend a little bit, right? This one really does, actually. We do have bear spreading going on between May and July, SEP and Dees, but I don't know where March has fallen. Well, March hasn't traded yet, that's why. It's closed right now. So that's so far out there, it hasn't traded, but we do have bear spreading going on. 12 1/4 cents higher in the May, 23 cents higher in the Dees. The May is at 10.91 3/4. Let's go to cotton real quick. We got to get to our next guest analyst. I'm talking too much. Cotton's up 10 points to 135.79. Let's bring in Joe Lardy. Got to get you in here, Joe. Sorry for that. Joe Lardy's with CHS. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, these markets are a little bit kind of squirrely today, but I think we're kind of seeing the realization of, okay, we got the report. We finally got the report. We have at least a baseline where we're going to deal with for acreage, and I think, you know, with all this spreading, I think people are kind of going, okay, the stocks were kind of as expected. We're comfortable there. So now the premium is going to shift down the road as Mother Nature is going to start dictating whether or not we have adequate supply coming at us. And it feels like we're comfortable up front, but the question mark remains now in the back end of the curve.
Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, that's the way it looks to me. And again, sometimes even though everything's down, the fronts are down more than the backs, and if everything's up, the backs are out more than the fronts. And you can just tell by the way it feels. It's just not normal to see. Well, they're all that way actually. So by having them all be that way, it does make it more of a Mother Nature story than anything else. I agree with you.
Yeah, we are now going to be trading weather for the next few months, and that always gets very interesting in our markets.
Buckle up. All right, I really appreciate you being on, Joe. Have a great weekend. Joe Lardy with CHS. We're going to go away, pay some bills, and we're going to come back and talk livestock with Dr. Mark Stevenson from the University of Wisconsin. Easy for you to say.